but I want you to welcome Rico J. Reyes. Welcome here.
Thank you. I just wanted to start with this as a context of I have sort of two parallel tracks of my performance practice. One is collaborative, which is I'm doing with Baryonics, and we do these very political work in terms of Philippines and Filipino-American issues. So we consider ourselves a band, and we do these political action music videos. And so that's that part. But along with that, I've also had this kind of like, just sort of as my stress reliever. I've been dancing Philippine folk dance for a while, and then now kind of using other forms of dance as part of my practice. And today, you are going to participate in my dance school. Stretch a little bit, raise your arms, stretch your legs a little bit. We're going to do a little movement. So I've been doing these performances called Danceology, and basically it's a way for me to, one aspect of Philippine folk dance is the idea of mimetic or mimesis, which is mimicking different kinds of animals. So a lot of Philippine folk dance is, it's imitating squirrels or birds. And so there's all these different movements, and I thought, okay, so the Filipinos in their villages and their tribes are looking at their surroundings. So what about me as a contemporary person in an urban setting? What do I imitate from my surroundings? And so I decided that maybe, I'll look into more street culture, just sort of like urban life. And that's when I started getting really into street dance. So 3 things that I've been wanting to look at were basically 3 forms. One is whacking, one is crumping, and the other one is voguing. And all of these 3, I'm gonna teach you basic movements that make up these 3 dances. Like Vogue is it was popularized in the 80s, and it comes from a lot of different communities, mostly in New York City, and it's a way to present oneself. And a lot of that presentation idea comes from Vogue magazine, hence the name Voguing. And so it's kind of imitating a photo shoot at the dance floor. So a lot of it is presentation, like, create a pose, present your face, so frame yourself. Basically, it's a way to, present your face, present your body, and create different shapes with your body. So that's the basic idea of Vogue. Of course, when you're in a competition, you exaggerate it more. Around the same time, there's a big dance show in Southern California called Soul Train, and there were dancers hired for this television show, and this group of dancers called themselves the Whackers, and they came up with a dance called whacking. Whacking basically is another way of presentation. Their whole idea is the word outrage. We want to be outrageous, and that means outrageous outfits, outrageous movements. And so whacking basically is, just moving your arms, but then it gets exaggerated, so it becomes this idea. As the counterpoint, when you're moving your arms one way, you're also moving your legs in a different way, opposite direction usually. So let's try that. It's basically, bend at the elbows, and then at the wrist, and then circle, and then back. There you go. So again, elbow, wrist, and back. There you go, we're back. So another decade later, another dance form comes up, and it's called crumping. And crumping basically is, because of the gang problems in Southern California, they didn't want to perpetuate violence. And so what they wanted to do is then work out their differences through dance. And crumping sort of imitates um, sort of imitates fighting, but it's all dancing. It reminds me of like a modern iteration of capoeira. Capoeira it's a martial arts that became into dance, that now is like both dance and martial arts. So crumping for me has that kind of sensibility, like it's like street fighting, but it's also dancing. Crumping basically has three components. One is the stomp. So, and then again, the music will give you the cue to when to stomp. Okay? The second component is the chest pop. The chest pop is basically, a lot of people like their chest out, but it's really much more subtle. If you can think about like projecting your pecs or your breast out. Okay, so it's like, yeah. So it's usually stomp, pop, stomp, pop, stomp, pop. And then with the arm, again, it can be free form. There's not a lot of choreography. Crumping is very improvisational. So if I'm fighting you and you're jabbing high, I might then jab low. Like it's a way to again, it's like, we're dancing together, but we're fighting. So that's the small movement. And then the big movement is just like an arm throw where you throw your arm, like you're swinging real hard. So instead of like a jab, it's like a full-on like cross. What's the boxing term? Cross, like a right hook or a left hook. Yeah. So it's just like throw. So then you put it all together, so you go, boop, boop, boop. But it's really, everything is fast, everything is intense, everything is very strong. You got that? What we're going to do now is play our danceology game. Come on, 2. What's your name? One more person. One more. Hey, thank you. What's your name? Eugene and Lucy. So, here is our, I just gave you a lesson, now here's a quiz. So if you were listening, you probably would be able to get these answers. And Lucy will go first. Thank you, Eugene. Pick your category.
I'll do whacking.
Okay, for
100.
Whacking for 100. Okay, whacking was called this in the 70s.
You didn't tell us that. I don't know.
Any guesses? Do you have a guess, Eugene?
I thought they called it whacking in the 70s too.
Capoeira.
It's before the whackers got together, the street dance was called punkin or garbo. And garbo based on Greta Garbo, again, the idea of presentation, or punkin as in, creating an alternative sort of movement that's not choreographed or part of the regular dance. So that's what it's called. And then the whackers got together and then they started whacking. Okay, so Eugene, pick your next category.
I'll go Vogue for 100.
Vogue for 100? Okay, does Finland pop star popularize Vogue?
Madonna.
Madonna,
very
okay.
good.
The answer is Madonna.
Oh, man. I thought we were going to be banned.
So, in the 80s, late 80s, Madonna co-opted voguing into one of her biggest, hottest selling single, and popularized voguing. And a lot of people think that she started the trend, which actually she did not. She just popularized it. Okay, Lucy, your next category?
Vote for 200.
Vote for 200? Voguing began in the ballrooms of this Manhattan neighborhood.
The Bronx?
The Bronx?
Manhattan neighborhood.
Yeah.
Think of Manhattan neighborhood. Bronx is another borough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Eugene?
Lower East Side.
No.
Okay.
Who said Chelsea?
Not quite. It started in
Harlem,
Harlem,
yes.
in Harlem ballrooms. So everybody, the people who were dancing Vogue decided that they would come together and do balls, and where they will present themselves and Vogue in a confined space. So the balls, the voguing balls became a big subculture in Harlem. Okay, Eugene.
Let's go Crump for 100. please.
Crump for 100. Okay, come on.
Hey mama, it's that shit that make you
Ready? Stop. Just stop. And jab.
Nice.
Lucy?
Could I actually trade out for another volunteer? I really
You're
hate
doing
quitting.
fine.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, vote for 300.
Vote for 300. So what's the score, Edmund?
We got Eugene at 200 and Lucy at 300.
Okay, Eugene, your next category.
I'll go Crump for 200.
Crump for 2. In the 1990s, crumping developed as an offshoot of this style of dancing.
Capoeira.
Nope, not capoeira.
Reiki.
Nope. I
Stomp.
didn't talk
Lucy?
about it very much. Lucy, do you have a guess?
No.
So it was called clowning. So in the South Central neighborhood, they put on clown makeup and they performed at children's parties. And then a group decided that that was too tame, and they wanted to expand it to a more vigorous dance form, and that's when they did an offshoot and became crumping. Lucy, your turn.
Okay, whacking for 300.
Whacking for 300. Whacking originated in the city.
I think you said it. Did you?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Can I ask the audience? Like, what's it called?
LA.
Los
Biggest
Angeles.
question or whatever. LA, Los Angeles.
All right. Los Angeles, yeah. Soul Train. And Eugene,
I guess I'll take Crump for 300.
crump for 300. A crumping competition is called this.
A battle.
A battle? Ooh, you got it! Okay, and I think we have one last category, one last answer, right? So whacking for 2?
That's for Lucy or Eugene?
This is for Lucy. I think it's whacking for 3. The last one is the Okay, so whacking. So, what's the scores, Edwin?
We have Eugene at 500 and Lucy at 800.
That is the end of
Whoop,
our
Gangnam Style.